वीडियो केमिकल रिएक्शंस एंड इक्वेशंस जो 10th स्टैंडर्ड के साइंस सब्जेक्ट में एनसीईआरटी के फर्स्ट चैप्टर में दिया गया है, इसको हमने प्रिपेयर किया है। सबसे पहले हमें ये जानना है कि केमिकल रिएक्शन क्या होता है और केमिकल इक्वेशन क्या होता है। लेट अस डिफाइन chemical reaction and equation first. In this chapter, I describe each and every point in my lecture and just I prepare the lesson in such a way that you will get never any problem while solving the board questions. Okay. Now see, let us come to know what is chemical equation and reactions. The first is chemical reactions. Okay, whenever a chemical change occurs, we can say that a chemical reaction has taken place. What is a chemical reaction? If the question is asked, just we have to write against the answer that whenever a chemical change occurs, we can say that a chemical reaction has taken place. As for example, when magnesium ribbon is burnt by us, okay, it gives us magnesium oxide. Whatever the oxide we obtain, it is white in color, correct? Now see, this activity is written here. Whatever the experiment we have done here, that activity is written here. Magnesium ribbon burns with a dazzling white flame and changes into a white powder. This white powder is magnesium oxide. Whatever I taught you at the end. In second activity, we take a few zinc granules in a conical flask. We add dilute hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid to this flask. Now, following type of reaction happens. We obtain zinc chloride. When zinc granules react with dilute hydrochloric acid, it gives us zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. The same phenomena happens in case of dilute sulfuric acid also. When zinc reacts with dilute sulfuric acid, we will get zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. In third activity, we take lead nitrate solution in a test tube and add potassium iodide to this. Lead nitrate PbNO3 whole 2, potassium iodide Ki, it gives us potassium nitrate KNO3 and lead iodide PbI2. So, what do we observe here? In these reactions, there is chemical change, correct? Now see. So, according to these observations or in these observations, we conclude that during a chemical reaction, any one of the following changes can happen or maximum changes can happen. Okay, that which type of changes? That may be change in a state, change in color, evaluation of a gas, change in temperature. Correct? Now let us define what is chemical equations. When we represent a chemical reaction in its symbolic form, it is called a chemical equation. That equation may be a word equation also, that may be a skeletal chemical equation also, or that may be a balanced chemical equation also. Now see, generally we write a balanced chemical equation always. Okay? Now see. Magnesium plus oxygen, it gives us magnesium oxide. Here, reactants are magnesium and oxygen and product is magnesium oxide. Writing a chemical equation, when we write word equation of a chemical reaction in its symbolic form, it is called a chemical equation. The same phenomena, whatever the equation is written in word, just I write here in its symbolic form. See here, in symbolic form it is written magnesium plus oxygen, it gives us magnesium oxide. Correct? Now see, it is called the skeletal chemical equation because it is not balanced, unbalanced equation. Now we balance it, and we balance it, then it is called a chemical equation. Now here, while balancing the chemical equation, we balance the number of atoms of any element, okay, and each and every element, we can say that number of atoms on LHS side must be equal to number of LHS on the RHS side. In a skeletal equation, it is not true that number of atoms on LHS side is always equal to RHS side. In a skeletal chemical equation, it is not true, but in a balanced equation, it is true. Now see, in next point, in NCERT, it is given to balance the chemical equation. See here, this page, these contents are balanced chemical equation. Okay, chemical equation just I taught here. At present, I teach you that what is chemical reaction like, equations like that. Now, writing a chemical equation just I describe here, and balanced chemical equation just I am going to describe each and every point. Now see, a chemical equation, a chemical reaction is written in words as well as in symbolic form. That means it is a chemical equation. Okay, zinc plus sulfuric acid, that gives zinc sulfate and hydrogen. When zinc reacts with dilute sulfuric acid, it gives zinc sulfate and hydrogen. This word equation will be written in symbolic form as a chemical equation like this: zinc plus S2SO4, zinc sulfate, ZnSO4 plus S2. Now, just we have to balance it. Okay? If it is already balanced, then we have to leave it as usual. Otherwise, we have to balance it. So, what will be the method to balance the chemical equation? The most stable method is heat and trial method. See here, heat and trial method. Correct? Now, whatever the elements that are involved during the chemical reaction, we have to mention it. Correct? Here we see that zinc, hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen are involved here. Now, on LHS side, what is the number of atoms of each element? And what is the number of elements on the RHS side of each element? We have to mention like this. Correct? Now, we see that the number of atoms on LHS side is always equal to the number of atoms on RHS side in each and every element. That means it is already balanced and there is no need to balance it. Now, in other chemical equation, just we have to see here. When iron reacts with water, it gives iron oxide and hydrogen. Correct? Here, just I write here that iron Fe plus S2O, that gives Fe3O4 plus S2. Now, by heat and trial method, we balance it. So, whatever I taught you at present, that the name, at first we have to write the name of elements which are involved in the chemical reaction. Here, iron, hydrogen, and oxygen are involved. Now see, number of atoms on LHS side of each element, number of atoms on RHS side, just I mentioned. Here we see that iron is the number of atoms in case of iron and in case of oxygen. These are not same. Correct? Now, just we will have to take the compound which is maximum in number. Okay? During the chemical reaction, we have to select the compound which is maximum in number of the elements. Select the compound which has maximum number of atoms. Here we select Fe3O4 for our convenience. Correct? Number of oxygen atoms number of oxygen atoms is maximum here? C. Previously, the given chemical equation was like this. Here, number of oxygen atom is maximum. So, we take this only at first. See here, number of oxygen atom, initially it is 1. Initially, number of atoms in oxygen in S2O, it is 1. Here on RHS side, it is 4 in number. Okay, 4 in Fe3O4. Now, to make it 4, we have to multiply it by 4. So just I have multiplied here, put here 4, and it is already multiplied, and number of atoms of oxygen is balanced here. Okay, whenever we put 4 here, number of hydrogen atoms changes. It becomes 8, but still it is 2 in number on LHS side. Correct? Now see. At first, now just we have to balance the number of hydrogen atoms. It is 8 in number, it is 2 in number. So to make it 8, we have to multiply it 4. That means where it is mentioned S2, we have to write here 4. Just I have written here 4. Now see what happens in this case. Now it is balance in case of oxygen as well as in case of hydrogen. But number of atoms in case of iron, it is already unbalanced. Now we have to balance it. Correct? Number of atoms of iron on LHS side and RHS. It is 1 in Fe and it is 3 in number in Fe3O4. To make this 3, we have to multiply 3. That means 3 will be put on the side on which LHS side, means just we have to write here 3. So just I have written here 3 and we obtain a balanced chemical equation. Correct? Now see, whatever it is, heat and trial method, this is the simplest method to balance in your NCERT syllabus in 10th standard. That is why I put before you the same method, whatever it is mentioned in your syllabus. Okay? Now see, the next point is writing symbols of physical state. Generally, during the chemical reaction, we do not mention its physical state. Suppose just a balanced chemical equation is written here, 3Fe plus 4S2O, that gives us iron oxide Fe3O4 plus 4S2. Here, in which state iron is? It is in solid state, but solid state is not mentioned. But so that is why the next step is writing symbols of physical state. Correct? As we know that any element is or compound, either it is in gaseous state, in solid state, or in liquid state. Correct? So see here, writing symbols of physical state. For solid, we write as liquid L, gaseous G, and for aqueous AQ we are writing. Correct? Now see here, in the same way, just I have written here a balanced chemical equation and just I mention here its physical state also. Correct? Iron is in solid state, water is here in liquid state, iron oxide is here in solid state, and hydrogen is in gaseous state. Suppose sometimes we have to indicate reaction conditions such as temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc. over or below the arrow. Whatever the arrow we put to differentiate the reactants and products, just we have to mention temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc., whatever it is. Okay? Suppose here, just I have mentioned here photosynthesis reaction. Okay? This is a chemical equation in which photosynthesis takes place. CO2, when reacts with water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, it gives glucose, which is in aqueous form. Correct? oxygen, which is in aqueous form, and water, which is in liquid state. So, while writing a chemical equation, if we mention its states also, then it is very beneficiary to understand the condition. Correct? Now, in next, what we have to learn here? In next, few questions are here. Okay, few inside questions are here. Just I am going to tell you the suitable answer of the given question. The first question states that why should a magnesium ribbon be cleaned before burning in air? In first, when we start our lesson, the first activity was this only. When magnesium ribbon is burnt in oxygen, it gives us white residue of magnesium oxide. We have learned. So the question arises here, why should a magnesium ribbon be cleaned before burning in air? Just I have written the answer here like this. See, answer of this question. See here, why should a magnesium ribbon be cleaned before burning in air? Magnesium is active element which reacts with any substance present in the atmosphere, and a coating is present on its outer layer which prevents it from complete burning in air. When we burn magnesium ribbon, that should be cleaned before burning. To overcome this, we clean it by rubbing before burning. Okay. Now second question. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following chemical reactions. Chemical reactions are given here. We have to write the balanced equation for it. Now see. Hydrogen, C, whatever it is. In second, first, C here. Write the balanced chemical. Hydrogen plus chlorine, it gives us hydrogen chloride. When hydrogen reacts with chlorine, it gives us hydrogen chloride. Now see here, how can we write this? Hydrogen has the molecular formula as S2. Because hydrogen is alone here, so we have to write here its molecular formula. Chlorine is alone here, we have to write its molecular formula, means chlorine is diatomic. That is why while writing the molecular formula of chlorine, we write Cl2. Now it gives hydrogen chloride. The molecular formula of hydrogen chloride is HCl. Correct? Now, just we have to balance it. So, on LHS side, hydrogen is 2 in number. Chlorine is also 2 in number. But initially it was 1 in number on RHS side in case of hydrogen. In case of chlorine also it is 1 in number. So just we put here 2 and it is already balanced. Now in second, barium chloride plus aluminium sulfate. When these react, it gives barium sulfate and aluminium chloride. Correct? Now just I write its molecular formula. Barium chloride, BaCl2. Correct? Now aluminium sulfate, Al2SO4 Why just I write like this? Its molecular formula. As we know that barium has the valency as 2 and chlorine has the valency as 1. So while writing the molecular formula, valency is extended, means this its valency will come here and its valency goes there. Correct? Because chlorine has 1 valency, so it is not written here, but 2 is represented. On the other hand, molecular formula of aluminium sulfate. Aluminium has the valency as 3 and sulfate radical has valency as 2. So its valency is written here and this complete radical's valency is written here. So this is the method to write the molecular formula of a compound. Correct? This is the method to write the molecular formula of an element. Correct? Now see here, barium sulfate, just I have written its molecular formula as BaSO4. and aluminum chloride as AlCl3 in such a way. Now we have to balance it. So in rough, we balance it by heat and trial method, and suitably just I have written here like this. Now next question, sodium plus water. It gives sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. It is written in words. Now sodium, see here, sodium, it has the symbol also Na, and it has the molecular formula also Na, because it is monoatomic. When it is alone, just it is written like this, only Na. So when sodium reacts with water H2O, it gives sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. Now just I balance this equation by heat and trial method, and we get the result in same. Now in third, write a balanced chemical equation with state symbols for the following reactions. A state symbol means in which state it is. Either it is aqueous, or it is liquid state, or in gaseous state, or in solid state. See here, just I have written these two answers. Correct? You will have to go through it. You will come to know about this point. Now in next, chemical types of chemical reactions. Okay, I teach the chapter point wise here. Types of chemical reaction. The first type is given here, combination reaction. If two or more than two elements or compounds, okay, get combined to give a single product, then such type of reaction is called combination reaction. See here, when calcium oxide reacts with water, it gives us calcium hydroxide. Correct? The state of the compound is also mentioned here. Calcium oxide is solid in a state. It is called, generally it is called quicklime. Means this is the trade name, quicklime. Now see, slacked lime, calcium hydroxide. Correct? Now, because two compounds give only single product, that is why it is a combination reaction. Correct? The other combination reactions are here. Burning of coal. Correct? As we know that coal contains carbon, because coal is one of the form of carbon, allotropy. It is one of the allotropy of carbon. So just we have to write here C against the coal, and when it is burning, any substance which burns, that means it reacts with oxygen, because in presence of oxygen only anything can be burned. Correct? Now naturally, when carbon get combined with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide. Correct? Now formation of water from H2 and O2. Here we see that hydrogen get combined with oxygen, it gives us water. Here the state of the reaction is also mentioned here. Correct? So whatever we see in these three, previously just we see here that two compounds give the product as a single compound. Here also carbon is element here, okay, and oxygen is element here. When it combines, it gives CO2 in compound form. Here hydrogen and oxygen means two. When two substances get combined, then it gives a single product. Such type of reaction is called combination reaction. See here, combination reactions. During the combination reaction, it is written that it is exothermic. Burning of natural gas, it is exothermic reaction. Previously, whatever in combination reaction, see here, it is also exothermic, because in such a case, large amount of heat it releases. During the reaction, large amount of heat is released. Okay, so this is exothermic. When heat is liberated during the chemical reaction, okay, then it is called an exothermic. But if heat is required heat is required to complete the reaction, then it is called endothermic. Later we will have to mention it. See here. Some examples of exothermic reactions. When natural gas is burnt, it gives carbon dioxide and water. When, as we know that in natural gas, the main constituent is methane. When methane burns or it reacts with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide and water. Burns means it reacts with oxygen, always. If any substance burns, that means it reacts with oxygen only. Okay? Now see. Question stands here, do you know that respiration is an exothermic process? How can we tell that respiration is exothermic process? We all know that we need energy to stay alive. We need energy, whatever the meal we are taking, whatever the food we are taking, that are providing us energy to stay alive. We get this energy from the food we eat. During digestion, food is broken down into simpler substance. During digestion, that food, whatever we eat, it is broken into simpler substance. For example, rice, potatoes, and bread contain carbohydrates. These carbohydrates are broken down to form glucose. This glucose combines with oxygen in the cell of our body and provide energy. How does it combine with oxygen? Because we respirate oxygen. Okay, we inhale oxygen, and that oxygen get combined with glucose and provides us energy. See here, the same chemical reaction is written here. Glucose is already present in our body. Okay, whatever the food we are taking in, that provides us glucose. When oxygen get combined, it gives carbon dioxide and water. Correct? So, in such a way, just we conclude here. Now in next class, I will teach you the next point.